Hey everybody, this is Joe Joseph, and this is the Daily Sheeple.com's News Shot. And here we go, Captain Obvious strikes again. I know I've said this before, and I sound like a broken record. Our healthcare system is broken. But don't expect the healthcare industry to have your back. Oh, no, no, no. According to westernjournalism.com, Anthem Healthcare is announcing its support for the Senate healthcare proposal, which is an absolute disaster, just as the House proposal was a disaster. This has nothing to do with repealing Obamacare. We need to get this straight right off the bat. And a lot of people say, well, they're doing the best job they can. No, they're not. No, they're not. See, if they were not ruled by special interest, this would be a walk in the park. This would be a piece of cake because there are so many things you can do to reform healthcare in this country. Either with government intervention or without government intervention. I'll give you examples of both. But Western Journalism reports that one of America's largest health insurance companies announced its support Monday for the Senate proposal to overhaul Obamacare. This is what Anthem Healthcare said, quote, "We believe the Senate discussion draft will markedly improve the stability of the individual market and moderate premium increases through substantial stability funding," meaning taxpayer bailout. Appropriate cost-sharing reduction funds, aligning premium subsidies with premium costs, and eliminating the health insurance tax, which alone would result in a 3 to 5% premium decrease for our fully insured member. Now, whether or not that comes to fruition remains to be seen. I have never seen healthcare costs go down, ever, in my entire life. Maybe other people have. I have not. You have to tie something into reform that if it's going to be government mandated, if this is going to be government law and it's going to be government health care in some way, shape, or form and taxpayer funded, then there are a couple of things that I think need to happen. Now, this is if you go down the government road. If you go down the government road and there's a stability fund, as there is now, then I would make it law that the pharmaceutical companies have a cap of 100% of what they can charge based on what it costs to develop a drug, meaning that their materials, all their research goes into the cost of a drug. They can't mark it up any more than 100% when they sell it to a distributor or Walgreens or wherever the heck it is they sell it. Much like retail used to be. Prior to all these free trade agreements, it used to be the rule of thumb that if you bought something, you marked it up 100%, you sold it. And that covered your profit, that covered your costs, and it didn't break the bank and it kept you competitive. Then what happened? Over the course of time, these companies, whether they be healthcare providers, and there are fewer of them now, health insurance providers, than there were in the 90s and the 80s, right? Same thing with big box retailers, like your Walmarts, like your Lowe's, like your Home Depots, etc., etc. Now, they in turn take their huge reach and their purchasing power, and then they take it even further. They go overseas to China, where they can buy a mop, let's say, for 49 cents a piece, and then flip it for $10.99. I mean, making well over 1,000% profit on many things. I mean, the greed is just unbelievable. See, they can do that still by these free trade agreements. They can now do that and still make a killing, and you still save money. Now, the healthcare industry, we can bring down prescription drug costs rapidly. An average EpiPen, if you built it yourself, you can build it for about $45 if you do it yourself, utilizing off-the-shelf material and what have you. Who is it? Mylan charges $600. $600 an EpiPen, or for 2 EpiPens. I can't remember what it is, 1 or 2. It's still outrageous. $600. Why? Greed. That's what. Oh no, what they'll say is, no, what we're doing is subsidizing the third world. Well, look it. That's all well and good. However, the profit that you're making can not only subsidize the third world, but it also pays exorbitant CEO salaries. It funds a very bloated and overpopulated health insurance industry that really needs to shrink a lot, you know, and big pharma. I mean, it's just unbelievable. And it also pays for the most powerful lobby in all the world. So, I mean, you're talking about some very, very real cost savings that could be realized if we regulate the way that prescription drugs are manufactured and sold to distributors. So right then and there, if you're going to go down the government road, there's one thing that you could do that will make or save a lot of money. And let's not forget, if this monstrosity, if a travesty like this ever passes, why then it's taxpayer funded. We've bought into it, whether you like it or not. And if that's the case, then we need to hold them to account. That's one way to do it. Rein in the cost. Instantly, you'll be seeing huge savings and decrease in healthcare costs. Now, if you don't go down the government road, and let's just say that people get a hair up their tuchus and they say, no, we're not going to support this health insurance scheme anymore. And that's what it is. I mean, it's a racket. Then what do? Then you get with doctors that take cash, and you start making a cash market or a cryptocurrency market for healthcare, where doctors circumvent the insurance industry and instead get paid directly by the patient. And this saves the doctor a lot of time and effort and labor of having somebody that has to go and build the insurance company and then fight for pennies on the dollar of what you ask for. And instead, go right to the person. This is how much it costs. Pay cash. Done. I'm out the door. You don't have to bill anybody. You don't have to go after anybody. There's no collections. It's payment is due when service is rendered. Done. You would seriously and dramatically decrease health insurance or health costs in this country. Then you have insurance for catastrophic care, the way it used to be. And what's wrong with that? Everything's okay. See, this is not hard. When you take special interests out of the equation, you can find very real and logical solutions that benefit everybody. I'm Joe Joseph. This was the DailySheeple.com's News Shot. Feel free to comment below and visit our website at thedailysheeple.com. Have a great day.